Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sweden. I am in Gothenburg, and funny enough, you and I have been here before. If you're a viewer of our Out of Spec motoring channel, I parked a Porsche Taycan right there 4 years ago and went through this little alleyway to a great Thai restaurant. Anyway, that Thai restaurant is closed for renovations. I just checked. But we are going to World of Volvo today. As you guys know, this channel is all about car enthusiasm, and today it's all about Volvo car enthusiasm. We're going to go to Volvo's big museum and see what it's all about. What I'm particularly excited about is, of course, some of their heritage models, but they also have construction equipment and trucks because, of course, Volvo isn't just Volvo cars, it's a collaboration with Volvo Group. So in this cold and snowy day here in Sweden, let's head over to the World of Volvo Museum and see what kind of things they have on display. Okay, cool. A V90 looks great. Nice, thank you. We're in the V90 heading over to World of Volvo. Khaled is my driver. He's cool. Thank you for driving me. I actually rode from the airport in an XC90 T8 fully spec'd inscription leather with the Bowers & Wilkins. It was really crazy to have that as a taxi. And this is the V90 taxi here in Gothenburg. So let's head over to World of Volvo. It's a particularly snowy day here in Gothenburg, and that's not typically common for this area. They get a few days a year of snow. Of course, we're in Sweden. Northern Sweden's really known for their snow, but yeah, I guess think of the climate similar to maybe Boston, something like that, where it's always just above freezing in the winter time, but can get hammered with snow from time to time, and this is certainly one of those times while I'm here. Well, a big shout out for that taxi ride in the B4. Maybe it sounded like a diesel. I thought it was a diesel. Anyway, we are at World of Volvo. This place looks crazy, doesn't it? Let's head inside and go see what's going on. So my understanding is this is a relatively new building, maybe the last few years, that maybe even just a couple of years old, this whole new Volvo Experience Center. And it's important to remember a couple things before we head inside. So a couple things to remember. Geely basically owns Volvo and Polestar. I think this is just a Volvo experience. I don't expect to see any Polestars in here. There's also Lynk & Co, Zeekr, the brand Geely itself. There's a bunch of other brands, even some Mercedes collaborations with Smart and Lotus and others, and list goes on and on. In here, I think the collaboration of the museum is Volvo Cars and Volvo Group. Those are two separate things, even though they use the same badge. Volvo Group is all about the trucks and construction equipment and stuff like that. Penta, even, boat motors. And then Volvo Cars is, of course, like what we know, EX90, EX30, XC60, so on and so forth. So I'm curious to see the split inside. Enough blabbering out here. Let's go check out World of Volvo, because it's pretty freaking cold here. Guys, I'm happy to report that this video has been sponsored by the EV Dance NACS extension cable. Let me show you how it works. I've got a typical mobile EV SE right here, also made by EV Dance. Nice 40 amp mobile unit plugged into a NEMA 1450 outlet. Just like any charger that you may roll up to in the public or at a hotel, they have nice long cables, and this one comes all the way out to here. But sometimes you need more. Sometimes you're like my buddy Colton, where you're so worried about door dings, you've got to park this far away from the action. And well, guess what? This cable makes it possible. This is the EV Dance 40 amp EVSE, and I can walk up and plug it in. Again, it's NACS. They make a J1772 version as well. This will work with any Tesla, S3, XY, Cybertruck, or any NACS-equipped vehicle, and it's just an awesome unit. Two things I look for with cables like this. High quality, really nice rubberized coating, totally waterproof as well. Absolutely awesome. The second is the actually type of cabling and connection points they have. The entire thing is silver-plated copper lines, which means it's designed to handle high current in extreme temperatures. This thing can handle up to 50 amps of continuous charging, where here I'm doing 40 amps to this car with very minimal voltage sag across the line. In fact, I was a previous customer of this exact unit where I charged every day at my old house with a long driveway with this exact cable. So a huge thank you to EV Dance for sponsoring this video. All of the links will be down in the description. Definitely a great tool to keep in your electric car. And in we go. This is like a fun tourist day for me. And we already are met with some cars from their classic collection. Be really cool to see everything they have around here. Now, this is like the Norwegian Lillehammer 94 Olympics, I guess. Couple things from my side. I, of course, love Volvo vehicles. I have always had an affinity for them. They've been so cool to follow over the years, but I'm not like a Volvo expert. And I think a lot of people fall into this category where I can name off BMW chassis codes, Porsche numbers all day long, but like, I wouldn't know this was a PV61 Cabriolet. Now, I do know some enthusiasty Volvos, like give me a 240 or an 850R, all that stuff. But some of the old heritage classic stuff, it's just before my time. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to learn with you guys. And we're going to basically take a look at this whole building with an open mind. And I am so freaking excited. First of all, just having vehicles like this that are accessible to look at and learn about is so cool. And I love their displays already. This is my first time seeing it. 1946 to 50 inline six. They built 500 of these things, and it's their first post-World War car. How about that? So I think we are going to see a lot of the new models as we go around. This is the ES90. This is built on SPA 2, which is the same as EX90 or Polestar 3. So it's their sort of larger SUV platform, but then they made a sedan out of it. They're not going to do too much with SPA 2. They will switch from a low voltage architecture in EX90 to a high voltage architecture like they did here in the ES90. So this one's actually a high voltage car. We need to do charging tests on it. I really hope we can get William to get in one of these and test this on out of spec roaming, which is covering sort of our European particular cars, maybe the cars in some sort of showroom mode, but that has to be the world's largest charge port door. So we'll get into some of this stuff later on, but this is not coming to the US as far as I understand it. Nice glass roof. It's basically an EX90 sedan, and honestly, for our market, probably smart, because why wouldn't you just buy the EX90, the SUV version? Yeah, it's nice. It's got a hatchback. It's got tons of room. But again, I don't really know how much you'd be saving on this over EX90. Now, of course, if EX90 wasn't going to get the high voltage architecture that this has, then yeah, 100% you would want to go here. But thankfully, they're updating EX90 and Polestar 3 next year to have all the new high voltage, more efficient everything in terms of faster charging, more efficiency, better software, and I'm glad that will all come. And I'm pretty sure this car has all of that. Really interesting integration here with the side cameras. I'm sure you can option this in certain markets without the side mirror. This one still has the LiDAR on top, which we saw was getting canceled, and I think it doesn't do the cool light signature thing that EX90 does. Anyway, that's probably worth doing a full video on this car over on Out of Spec Reviews. I heard we've got to head up to floor number 3. Also, sick fire truck over here. That's awesome. We've got to head up to floor number 3, which is where we can see the full exhibit. So let's jump in the crazy glass elevator and run up. So we have a conference center up on floor 5, then pavilion lounge, then exhibitions. Let's go up to floor 5 if it'll let us, and then we'll hit up all the cars. I'm just fascinated with this building. This is such a beautiful place. I believe this ground that we're on was an old Saab transmission factory. So it's got a little bit of car heritage in it, but not always Volvo car heritage. Okay, going up. 5. Wow, this is a weird elevator experience. I like it. It's very echoey in here. Here we go. They also, because I came here as part of like a Volvo program thing to film another car I can't talk about yet, they gave me one of these things so that they're like, you're typically not allowed to film in here, I guess, but now we are. I don't know. So I can't imagine they're going to turn anyone away for filming. Here we are. You've arrived. A special exhibition showcasing Volvo's commitment to safety would be cool. I actually had dinner with the head of safety from Volvo a few years ago, and I kept trying to convince him to remove the top speed limiter at 180 kph. It was just too low. Check this building out. Man, we should just do like architectural tours on this channel. It's so cool. So up here on floor 5, looks like they've got a bunch of hosting space for events and things like that. Pretty cool, but nothing for us. We've got to go down. Here now you join me on the 4th floor of the museum, the World of Volvo, and it's a whole Hasselblad experience, if you will. Just talking about some of the cameras, some of the space applications that they've been used in. So it's sort of a space Apollo mission Hasselblad thing. And it says, these items flew to the moon on Apollo 11. How cool is that? Very cool. Anyway, love to see this stuff. And even though I am a YouTuber and I film for work, I'm actually not a camera enthusiast. I just need them to work and look pretty good. And that's basically it, which is why I use an iPhone to film all my videos now. So down to the cars, because that's what I'm here for. Well, here we are at the entrance on the 3rd floor to the full experience. They have this crazy cool display with, oh, that is just awesome. All these like little golf ball things. I mean, that's something someone could just watch forever, like ASMR content. That's amazing. Anyway, this is the entrance to the World of Volvo exhibition. So I guess I will tap my QR code. Oh, open this one. And we are in. Whoa, so many cool things. There's diggers over there. There's, wow, bunch of great stuff. So this is kind of an interesting experiment. If you stand right here, it looks mostly like a woman. And then if you come this way, I guess it moves around a little bit. That's such a cool display. I wonder how long it took to tune that in. That's awesome. But definitely like isn't perfect. No, maybe we got it dialed in there. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. It all starts with you. Everything we do starts with people. Therefore, we begin by looking at the human body, mind, and mood. Just want to see the new EX60, folks. Don't really see all of this. So this is like everyone matters. We are all different. Our bodies are too. Oh my God. I've never been to a car exhibit that doesn't have cars in it before. I mean, I get it, but like, oh, here we go. I like this one. We may think we are good drivers, but we also know that even the best of us, best among us, make mistakes. We can be distracted, stressed, drowsy, or in another state that impacts driving. Traditionally, we have focused on getting our vehicles to better understand what's happening around them to help protect the people inside. But to break new ground in safety, we need to further by improving how our vehicles understand drivers in different states of mind. So that's currently in development. Not a thing yet, but I guess, I don't know. We've got simulators here. Are these safety simulators or are they like ready to rip simulators? This thing's got a shifter on it, so I'm going over here. Adventure in Distractville. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is a hand control. I see. That's hand control for ADA stuff. That's great. That's very Volvo of them. Let's see. We have to fasten a safety belt to use a basic seat simulator. Well, I've got the day to kill, so let's do it. I am strapped in, genuinely strapped in, and Volvo, I think, invented the seatbelt, right? I can hit start.
Hi, I'm Glenn. How did you get here, you might ask? Well, for now, just sharpen your earballs and follow the fox on the moped.
So now it's trying to have you like adjust some hand controls while looking. That's honestly such a cool, you know, no car would ever put a horn over there. That's only something Tesla would figure out how to do. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. We're passing on the inside. Oh, can't see anything. What's going on here? And of course I crashed. Yeah, it forces you to use the touchscreen and then stay driving behind this fox. And so you've got to like use both. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, let's go. I love how Volvo is talking about pet safety with proper securing them and stuff, but they don't have dog mode in their cars, at least not yet. Polestar 4 does, so hopefully Volvo vehicles will get it, because if you want to talk about safety, keep them cool in the car. That'd be great. Then you could say just don't leave them in a car, but you can if you have proper dog mode. Would be freaking cool. Anyway, this is getting cool. So this is a whole bus experiment. As you all know, Volvo makes buses, and this is sort of a staying balanced equation when it comes to building autonomous buses. I can relate to this because I was just on a bus this morning, one of those bendy buses. I was actually standing in the middle of the bendy thing, and I kept almost falling over, and it was a terrible experience. And so here you have Volvo doing a little bit of research to tune their autonomous buses moving forwards about the proper G loads that they need to put in, and maybe some other tech. It's currently in development, this stand, but I can't wait to come back and experience this one. So this is cool. This is a Volvo FM cab, and it's bigger than you would think. I mean, obviously people watch these videos on YouTube and stuff, and they're always on like an iPhone screen. In person, wow, this is a serious truck, and it's a nice looking cab. I've never sat in one of Volvo's cab overs, but you can see it's got a nice gauge cluster up there. All your switches here. I've only ever sat in the US versions of the Volvo trucks. I've actually been to the Volvo truck factory in Virginia. Super cool experience, went all through there. And maybe I should head up there and film a video, but this is great to see. Volvo builds their own engines. They build their own cabs. They really do a great job when it comes to trucks, and they also have quite a few electric trucks in their lineup, both in, well, I think only for these cab overs. I don't think they have any of the US electric trucks yet, but hopefully soon. Anyway, super cool to see this here. Let's continue. I've diverted into this emotional room, and we're supposed to act surprised. And so you can see I'm smiling because it's so funny, but and it, how does it know that? Angry, sad, surprise! Ah! I don't know how it does that, but that's hilarious. Imagine if the driver assistance only lets you monitor when you're in a good mood and says, actually, you're angry, your car won't drive you. Of course, Volvo has the very popular reputation of being a safe brand, and one that is so focused on crash incidents. And so this is all about some of the crash survivors, this story here. As we go through, I think it's really cool. I mean, of course, in terms of crash test ratings, the Volvos always do very well. And so, yep, you know, the entire cab was full of water, wasn't actually that cold. Then they had to get out. Luckily, the door was above. Wow, so that was reversing his wheel loader, rolled down a 3-meter high slope, and the cab landed in the water. Interesting. So this is safety not just for their cars, but you know, also some of their construction equipment. These people were shot at in their car. Wow. And so just really cool to hear their stories. But of course, safety always is first for all manufacturers. Volvo just publicizes it more than others. I think a lot of people don't realize that. And this is interesting. So the impact of speed. We have a hard time understanding the impact of speed. I agree with that because I like to go fast. But imagine climbing on top of a dining chair and letting yourself fall headlong onto the floor. Headlong onto the floor. Okay, that gives about the same impact as a passenger in a car crash at 9 miles an hour. If you're traveling at 12 miles an hour, is falling from 4 stacked chairs. This is unbuckled though, so that's saying buckle up. Anyway, take a look at this. The seatbelt. Their safety engineer, Niels Bolin, designs the 3-point safety belt in the late 1950s. How cool is that? In 1963, it became standard in all of their cars, and later on in their trucks. And yep, every vehicle has the 3-point safety belt now, which is so cool. So here's an EX90 that's been aero modified, and it looks rough, but B-pillar retained a lot of the crash structure there. You can see the air suspension's dumped out. Brakes look like they've never been used, clearly. I guess there would be more frontal impact. They crashed an EX90 into an EX90. So they were both doing 55 kilometers an hour for this one. That's a gnarly impact. So this is the side impact version of the car. You can see the rear deck lid's been lifted up there. Internal airbags popped as well. Man, it's a pretty gnarly hit. Oh my God, they crashed one with Bowers and Wilkins. Why? Just spec it with the base sound system if you're going to destroy one. Oh, thank God the LiDAR held up though. That's great. I shouldn't hold my iPhone too close to the light. I'm just joking. Okay. They're getting rid of LiDAR on their cars. It won't fry your cell phones anymore. We're going to be good. Man, that's a gnarly impact, and it's literally tearing apart the metal. It's so cool to see these cars up close. That's amazing. So we're heading from crashed cars to motorsport. Love it. Here we go. Oh, S40 looking great up front. No way, truck racing. And Polestar S60. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, here we go. So this is the Volvo S60 Polestar. It's the TC one, and this thing looks amazing. I mean, honestly, a lot of wheel gap, but it might be on the air jacks at the moment, or the hydraulic jacks. Cool car. This thing actually raced. It did well. And there it is in cyan blue. Absolutely cool to see this. And you can see all of the trophies on display. Some of the tires that they shredded as well. And yeah, this is the 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that they used. Full race built motor. This is super cool. We've got some truck racing over here. So this is called the Iron Knight. Now this is what it's all about. I think they did like a truck US truck one? No way. Wheels lifting in the corners and smoking brakes. We gotta go. We gotta do this. All right, so this is super cool. This is like a fully built, race prepped, Insano machine. Holy moly. Look at the stacked exhaust out of this thing. Oh my God. We got to get into truck racing. We got to build one of these for the track. This was, I guess, when Volvo was debuting their iShift transmission. Insane. Totally insane. The Iron Knight. Look at this thing. Wow. And then we've got some older sort of front engine mounted trucks. So this would be 90s, I guess. Looking over here, yeah, 1996. Whoa. The NL12. Super cool to see this one here. That's pretty amazing. And then we go, I guess, back in time from the car side. So this is like stuff I wouldn't know. The PV544. The Safari Rally car. Very cool. What year was this? 1965. Super cool. Love rally, of course. Rallying is deep into the Nordic culture, of course. This is the Volvo 343. It's got this hatchback vibe, and this is a full rally kit car. It's almost got golf vibes to it. And this thing is hilarious looking. That's pretty amazing to see. Don't know much about this one, 343, but very cool. Now this is sick. I love trucks and vans and racing like that. So this is a left-hand drive version. So this is the Paris-Dakar victory. Oh, it's the Titan bolts behind Volvo's Paris-Dakar victory in 1983. Volvo C303. Wow, how cool is that? A virtually standard military off-road vehicle used by the Swedish Armed Forces. So freaking cool. Barely modified? I don't know. That looks pretty modified to me. But that is awesome. Man, I would love to do that. Love rallying. How sick would it be to be driving that through the desert, racing as a support vehicle? Again, the trucks have their own class, and they also are required to help their car if they notice someone stranded, but they still go for time. It's very cool. So then we get over to the cars, which they have this beautiful display. We have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to run through the cars. So I think we should do it in order of which they would like them displayed, which is, I'm going opposite because I got distracted with trucks. Okay, so when you walk in, the first car here is this S40 British Touring Car Championship car, and it actually got a title. I didn't realize that. It 4th that year, went on to win the entire championship in 1998. So 4th in 97 and a winner in 98. That's very impressive. I don't think I realized how well Volvo did back in the late 90s of British Touring Car Championship. Now, this is a C30, but is it an electric one, or is it just in the electric thing, the electric vibe, or is it a hybrid? So they built 10 of these 6-speed manuals. Okay, it's not electric. So what's Drive E? Use bioethanol. Instead of bringing racing tech to the road, we reversed the process. The flat underbody diffuser and rear wing came straight from the Drive E version. Okay, so they put the electric stuff on the combustion car and then badged it as Drive E. But it's a 4-cylinder, 2-liter, almost 300 horsepower race car. Still looks cool. Love the C30. I hope they have a C30 electric here. They built just a few of them around. But this one is a combustion variant, of course. Look at that Polestar badging on there. Back when Polestar was part of Volvo's tuning group, then they started their own company, and I own one of their cars, but they said, Polestar, we have no heritage. It's right there on that car. Volvo 850, one of my all-time favorite cars with the 5 spokes, looking great. This thing is super cool. What's special about this one? British Touring Car Championship, again, the fastest estate in the world. 290 horsepower. And wow, 8,500 RPM from this 5-cylinder. Pretty cool. I mean, this thing's just a box with nothing inside of it except cargo space. So you can really have a practical wagon just like this one right here and take it to the racetrack. Love that. Super cool. This is a 6-cylinder engine with a carbon valve cover. What's going on here? ITBs, very cool. Okay, we've got to hurry up. 760 turbo. It's a prototype that never raced. I don't know what's up with that. Looks amazing because the show's going. 240 turbo, looking amazing as well. This is getting into the older era of Volvo that I just think it will always be timeless. And then we saw the 140 earlier on. Very amazing motorsports display here at the Volvo Museum. And super cool that they have this insane display. This is wild. We've been talking about Volvos our entire lives. I had no idea why it was called Volvo. It's because of this, a bearing, and that specific bearing right there. It's called a Volvo because a ball bearing crafted by SKF in 1915, and one sharp mind gave it the name Volvo, which literally means I roll in Latin. And then they just stuck with it. So were they started as a ball bearing company? But I know there's a big bearing industry here in Gothenburg with SKF. I think they're still around. But how cool is that? That's the bearing that named Volvo. And there it is. Wow. Now we are getting to the area that I have been wanting to get to, the cars. And this is the OV4. So this is the first ever Volvo. And the fun story about this car is, and I actually knew this, I believe the ring gear was installed backwards. So when it came out of the factory for its initial debut, it came out in reverse. And that is just so funny to see that. And yes, so this is the one. They immediately fixed it from that day, and Volvo moved forwards. I love that Volvo is also saying this, that customers are hesitant about driving an open vehicle in the Swedish climate, and the price tag scares off people as well. But 201 were sold. They're just so honest when their stuff is like not great. They're like, oh yeah, it's expensive and it's an open top convertible and it's Sweden. So yeah. But they sold 200 of them in the first year. So that's what started it all right there. How cool is that to see an OV4 on display? This thing's looking really nice. And wow, just a cool experience to see this car. I've always wanted to see one of these. Continuing on through the display, it's just so Volvo of them. I just love reading this. It's so Swedish. They're like, okay, the 4-cylinder engine produces a modest 28 horsepower, top speed of 90 kilometers an hour. However, a more reasonable cruising speed of 60 kilometers an hour is deemed appropriate. One of the first customers complains that the acceleration is too poor for city traffic. The Ford Model T and other American models dominating sales in Sweden have already phased out their 4-cylinder engines in favor of 6-cylinder models at the same price of their 4-cylinder. Responding to the criticism, Volvo's management acts, and after 2 years, a 6-cylinder engine is launched. It kind of sounds like EX90 and Polestar 3, doesn't it? Where it was like, that was a 400-volt system, the specs weren't that great, and within 2 model years, now we've got an entirely new electrical architecture in SPA 2. So maybe that's just the Volvo heritage. Release the bad ones and then fix it. I just love that they're so honest with that in their display. And it honestly looks like a pretty okay compact unit right there, but only a couple model years of that original engine. And then we have the LV4 bus. I know that because it says it on the license plate. And here we are. Very cool. 28 horsepower. Looks like it probably used the same engine. So the chassis is primarily sourced from America on these, which is cool. They also have the pickup truck version, which honestly interesting to see a Volvo truck looking like an American truck in a sense. But I guess that's where they got most of their cabs from. So cool that they have these here. And this is, again, the same engine and same platform as the OV4. So they had their passenger one and truck one. So Volvo trucks have always been a part of the story. Wow, this is a beautiful room with tons of cars around. We have old buses. How cool is this thing right here? This is the B513, a bus lost and found. It's they built 3,800 of these, and it's 95 horsepower, 6.1 liter engine. Body was crafted by that person in that town, which I cannot produce. So, wow, it was left for over 20 years after a accident repaired it. Or it was repaired from an accident and then left abandoned for over 25 years. Wow, so PV654, really cool car, 1930s design, very similar to a lot of the cars you would have seen back then, and just looking very cool. There's the Volvo Amazon, that's cool, very similar to some other cars that I'll show you in a little bit, super nice. This is cool, the PV444, love to see that. This really, the PV445 was like their first ever wagon model. This is basically what paved the way to, all of the Volvo wagons that we have loved over the years. And this is kind of what started that whole van wagon-ish vibe that Volvo has kind of always had and still has continued, to much to their credit, which is really cool. 145 wagon as well. Then you can look at, 240 and so on and so forth from there. That's sort of the lineage. There's a 240. So it went from that to this to that. Is this a Volvo Penta? So this is, New York Motor Boat Show in 1959, the Aquamatic. It's so interesting that they got into it. So the efficiency, wait, what does it say that the benefits were here? It provides the efficient drive from the outboard with lower fuel consumption of the inboard. The engine remains inboard, but the propeller is placed outboard. Interesting. That's a cool design and seems to be great. This is the Volvo Amazon, and it's a really cool car, but what I am so most excited about this car for is it's what underpinned essentially the P1800. And this particular one has a really cool story. This is the famous 3 million miles, is it? What does it say that it's up to? Yeah, 3 million miles in New York, on Long Island, where I grew up. And this thing's been all over the place. I believe the owner was a teacher. There's plenty of stories about him. And this is part of Volvo's US collection. It's still got the New York plates on it. And, it had that super strong chassis. It had a motor that was basically a military engine that would last forever. Designed by Ghia, really cool car. It would just go and go and go. And this one did. And they produced almost 40,000 Volvo 1800s. And this particular one, highest mileage, I believe it's the highest mileage Volvo in the world. And there it is, from the US here in Sweden. Super cool. Now this is sweet. Shout out the Outspec Ranch channel. This is the Volvo T43, built from 1946 to 1950. And during the Second World War, the manufacturing of personal cars is prohibited. So to keep factories operational, Volvo redirects its investments towards tractors. Wow. And we make our way this way. I just love the trucks. This is a refrigerator unit right here. And then we get into sort of the modern looking trucks that we know. So this is the Volvo F10 from 1984, one truck of the year from I'm not sure what magazine, but 1977 to 1993. Trucks have a really long life cycle to them, of course. And there's a super clean one. We also have some construction equipment, FH1694. You'll still see some of these on the road, like in South America and some other places. Still running with millions of miles on them, without question. So it took 7 years to develop the FH12 and FH16. Pretty amazing. And this is so cool. So this is a rearward facing cabin with a forward-thinking design. So you actually sit backwards in this, and it's their first ever wheel loader. So 1954 was the first ever Volvo wheel loader, and now you can get these in a much more compact version, but very cool. I had no idea that Volvo was making construction equipment back in the 50s. Truly, I did not have any clue. And that is great to see. Inline 3-cylinder engine, all the hydraulic lines still looking great. Very well maintained collection over here. Love this. They've got their tow truck pulling a PV36 from 1935 to 1938. I guess they only built about 500 of these, but this is cool that it's all kind of scratched up. What's the story on this car? However, the model plays its design. It's a steel body and built-in headlights. Yeah, that's true. It does have that. Only 500 of these sold, and it's in the museum. This particular one. It's great. And here's another Amazon, but a police version. And I guess they've got some of their old Volvo ads playing over here. How cool is that? So they're playing a highlight of all their commercials that they've shared. Oh, I could spend a whole day here. I'm bummed I only have another hour left. Oh, this is awesome. We have is it a German fire vehicle or is it a Swedish fire vehicle? Let's see. I'm guessing it's German. Yep. Germany. So 245 DL. Then we've got this nice looking fire truck right there. This is for the city of Gothenburg from 1954. Amazing. A reliable puppy in tough terrain. This thing looks pretty crazy, doesn't it? This is 1950s and 60s, designed for the Swedish military. The 1966 was built as a tow truck, and it was used in northern Sweden, so extreme cold environments this thing operated in. And it was a tow truck. And that's a lot of, European vehicles like this. They'll use sort of heavy-duty trucks, cabs, and chassis as their tow truck operations. In the U.S., we primarily use sort of big pickup trucks. So I guess this does not have a Volvo D6 engine in it, but how cool would that be? This powers a lot of boats and marine applications. I have no idea why this is here. but I think it's cool. Love a cool jet ski, rescue jet ski. And then we've got the V70, but lifted. Oh, XC70, excuse me. But like lifted concept as a surfer rescue vehicle. Check this out, a very early V90 ambulance right here. That is cool to see. What country would have this been for? Sweden. Well, one of the last white ambulances in Sweden. Ambulance 965. And it's on loan for a special exhibit on Volvo rescue vehicles. Oh, so I love that this is a little rotating loan, and this is such a well-maintained ambulance. It looks great, doesn't it? How cool is that? And can we peek in here a little bit? They even have the dummy in there. Man, look at this old police car. PV56. 1939, the introduction of radio in police cars changed police work. This is a 39 PV56, and it was one of the first radio-equipped cars on the force. And I'm guessing for Sweden as well. This is the K9 unit. No way. This is the Volvo Duet. So again, early wagon van thing. It served 1967 and is on loan from the police vehicle collection in Tulling. Wow. And then of course we have the sort of modern day V90 cross-country police vehicle that we know. I see these everywhere every time I'm in Sweden. They're very popular. And this is a cool program that Volvo has, actually. This is an XC60, a new one. And Volvo dispatches actual people in these vehicles to crashes all around Sweden every day. And they basically go through, they measure, they have DSLR cameras. They have, it's part of their accident research team. And so if you have an accident around Sweden, it's very possible that someone from Volvo Cars Research Center will actually be out there to analyze the crash and figure out what's going on. I think that is such a cool thing. Now, of course, with the inception of sensors and cameras and dash cam recordings and accelerometers, and you can get so much data off the vehicle these days, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be needed to dispatch actual people out to crashes. But I do think it's a really cool program, and I love that Volvo does it. And yeah, that's just such a really cool thing to see. Continuing onwards, we are heading into a Volvo. Is it an FH, this one? But inside the cab. So you've got your sleeping area that they've kind of cut into in this one. This is more of a day cab setup. How cool is this to be able to sit up in here? Oh man. Oh, it's got the air seat. That's awesome. I should have a little pedal somewhere to pull the steering wheel back. But maybe it's to say, oh yeah, everything there. It's not hooked up to anything in this one. And you've got AC controls. No power on it. Wow. This must be so fun to cruise around. Gotta play some Euro Truck Simulator. Wish I had the time for that. Have you ever seen the guy online that drives one of these and then plays Euro Truck Simulator in the passenger seat when he times out for the day? You have your regen settings, or I guess it's more like engine brake settings, but the amount of deceleration force that you want out of them. How cool is this? You can change all the suspension from here, tilt the cab forwards. Wow. So you know how I was talking about regen in there? I was actually right. That's the electric one. No way. So cool. I just thought that it looks the same as the combustion variant inside. Oh, they got the doors locked. Are these Michelin electric specific tires? No. Such a cool vehicle. And I love all the displays, all the work they put into this place. I've been to a lot of car museums, almost all of the big ones, and this is a really well done experience, especially considering the fact that, you know, Volvo isn't the most popular automaker. Obviously here in Sweden they are, but it's no Ford. They're not selling trillions of cars every year, and they really put so much effort into this experience. It just feels awesome to see so much heritage and so much hope for the future, because I think Volvo's got a lot of work to do moving forwards, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. They also invented the lambda sensor. I did not know that. Okay, folks, we have entered the Kyle Connor realm of classic weird cars. This is a 1976 Volvo electric prototype. They only built 2 of them. I'm looking at one. Volvo, I want the other one. I will put it in my own electric car museum. This is, they built a 4-seat city sedan and a 2-seat delivery vehicle. Wow, so what's this one? I guess the city sedan, 4-seat. How cool is this? You've got your voltmeter right there, relatively low voltage, 100 kph speedometer. That seems optimistic. 13 horsepower. And it has a 3-point safety belt. Takes 10 hours to charge, and you have 50 kilometers of range. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Where are you going in Sweden? I mean, you're just driving around the city. That's awesome. What are we on right here? We're on the Sincera SN807s. What's the size though? I have no idea. I don't even know if they go that small. That's a hilarious looking car. Absolutely need that. Don't think it'll ever be possible. This is Volvo's environmental concept car, early 90s, and it used a diesel turbine engine to charge batteries to then drive the electric motor. So it actually was a range extended EV with a turbine. So you could plug it in and charge it as an electric car, and you had 85 kilometers of range with battery, but then 670 kilometers when the gas turbine is engaged. And that's kind of interesting. I don't know how big the battery is. It was the glimpse into the future S80, launched 6 years after this one. I mean, it looks really modern. This was from 92. And you can clearly tell the direction Volvo was going. And the S80 didn't look that dissimilar to this. It's got a very similar shape, especially up front. In the back, okay, maybe this is a little Chrysler-y. Don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, the back didn't really look like the vehicle at all. But yeah, that's all right. Wow, I've got some nice trucks over here. L248. This is the Volvo Titan. No way. This is the first heavy-duty class of Volvo trucks, right? 9.6 liter. Yeah. The world's first mass-produced truck with a turbocharged engine. Truck is from 1959. Turbocharging technology had been employed in ship, aircraft, and locomotives. We love it. We love boost. And that's the Titan Turbo diesel truck. Very cool. We've got a cool dumper over there. That's like an articulated one of the first articulated dumpers that was all-wheel drive. You've got another Volvo F88 truck, 760 GLE. This, not really my thing. Now, this is my thing. We'll get back to this. This is also my thing. 850 T5R. Just love an 850R, especially in this color. This looks great on the 5 spokes. Absolutely awesome car. This will go down as something that I remember because as a kid, my grandfather actually used to drive one of these, and then I think it went to my uncle. But anyway, spent quite a bit of time in the back seat of one of these, and great experience, great memories, cool car. This is the Volvo era I know and love, and I think a lot of you guys can probably relate to that as well. And then over here, we have the last ever XC90 to roll off the line of this generation, the first generation XC90. It had a production run of 2002 to 2014, and this is the last one. Great spec, brown, 5-spoke, wide body, diesel, interesting choice. I would have done one of the V8 with the Yamaha V8s. That sounded amazing. Good interior specs, got the R-line interior. Hell yeah, this is a gorgeous example. And look at the seat wear. There's almost no creasing on that seat. It looks fresh. Nice. What's up with this? Volvo Sport 1956 to 1957. They only built 67 of these. So the P1900. I never knew there was a predecessor to the P1800. Yeah, far less known. I had no idea. Only 67. Models often labeled a failure, but it's beautiful. And I would agree, it is a beautiful failure. That is a cool car. I had no idea this car ever was a thing. Whoa, okay, maybe that might be the issue right up there. What is that? Anyway, that's what we like to see. It's pretty cool, pretty funky. Well, it was super cool to go through that display over there. There were so many models that I didn't even know existed. I mean, I think a lot of us always will have a little bit of love for Volvo in us. Rally history, you know, special services such as police and fire and ambulance and other things like that. Like Volvos are just, you need a Volvo. Like everyone's got to have that sort of safe friend. And that's what the Volvo's always been. They're just safe, reliable, and that's the vibe. And so it's been so cool to run through all of these exhibits and displays over this way. So I'm pretty sure this is a rotating display where you'll see other vehicles come and go. Some are on loan from owners, etc. But I'm going to continue along because they have some electric excavators over here. The little mini ones that I've been thinking about getting one of these for the track. So this will be a demo to see if I want to get one of these EC18s. I've just got so many little projects where I want to get these little electric equipment to do stuff around the track and the ranch. So, well, the farm, the Outspec Ranch channel though. Let's go try out one of these EC18s. This is all about the electric boat motors that they've installed. And so it's a display to say, hey, put the headphones on. You'll be able to hear what things sound like because there's no diesel engine. It's all electric motors on many of Volvo's Penta products now. Wow, that's super cool. And nature, we can hear nature better, and nature does not have to hear so much of us. Pretty cool, but sometimes you do want to let that diesel sing. All right, I'm going to jump in the EC18 over here, and I'm going to go on a little tour of how this all works. So is it okay to step on the track?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great. So up I go, and I guess they probably have the drive systems disabled, and we are in work mode. So what can you tell me about this thing?
So now we're gonna see how it works. The
Yeah.
first thing to know about this is that we need a safety belt on first.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
It's
that is going to,
Volvo.
like, start the engine.
Okay, so it won't even go without the seatbelt in.
Yeah, that's the first thing to know. As you said before at the beginning, all the controls are almost all like disabled for safety reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So you have basically the directions here to go straight forward and anyway to go backward also.
So this is how you would control the,
Exactly.
yeah,
You
but it
can
doesn't do anything.
Yes, exactly. Then you have like speed mode, which is that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that we can actually activate. Yeah,
So
it is, but it's gonna be rapid speed.
do I just go forwards or back?
Yeah, and you just need to click it, and that's
Oh,
like
I see.
activated.
Like this? Yep.
Yeah, that's actually also a little bit disabled, but still active in the computer. So that's
Oh,
the
okay.
computer is going to detect it.
There's turtle,
Right.
there's rabbit. Got it. Okay.
So buttons also
Mm-hmm.
disabled, so they don't work.
Mhm.
Also for safety reasons. And definitely we can just pull the joypads.
Oh, no way.
Yep. So
That's
you
cool.
can try
So
that.
are all the actuators electric or is it running a hydraulic pump?
I believe it's electric.
It's electric.
It's
Okay.
electric.
Those are hydraulic down there, but the
Yes.
spinning is electric. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you just move this a little bit backward, let's go backwards. Yeah. You're gonna
Mhm.
move the first arm, so the hydraulic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we can move with these
Mm-hmm.
up and down the first part of the arm.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to go deeper in the digging process. If you try left and right with that, exactly, you're gonna activate the shovel. Yep. Lovely.
Okay. Very cool.
And then the upper you go with the hydraulic arm. Yep. The deeper you can go with this.
Okay.
So you control that. You have, let's say, complete movement range if you're up with the first arm.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll take a second and get used to this thing, but I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Well, this has been such a fun experience getting to play around with this thing, and I would just spend all day with this. Shout out of spec construction equipment. We have got to make this happen. Watch this. I can open up the bucket, drop it in, and whoops, wrong way, and scoop up some balls. This is so freaking cool. Love it. So there is the Type 2 charging port on this thing, but then you also have a little 48 volt connection. What do you charge this one with?
It's going to be like kind of an emergency way. I guess.
Oh, okay, just a backup way rather than the Type 2.
Yeah.
I see.
I believe
Okay, very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that was a really fun experience. Definitely fun to try out an excavator inside. Never had that experience before with no noise, no vibrations. That was such a cool thing. I definitely have to look into getting one of these over at the track. And there you go, guys. I just spent the last, I don't know, hour or so just playing around with some more displays. I tried the like assisted docking function for the Volvo pod motors that they have in like the big boats. So cool. What a neat experience it was to come here to the world of Volvo. I mean, you need 4 or 5 hours here to really soak all this in, to read the displays, to get to understand the history of this brand. And I learned a ton just coming here. Like I mentioned, I think a lot of car enthusiasts, or at least my side of car enthusiasm, is BMW, Porsche. We know that world so well. We know the American classic so well. There's so many cars here that I had never heard of or seen before. And yeah, amazing that we are here. So, for example, this is the Volvo experimental safety car. I've seen this car's photos before, 1972, and wow, super cool. There's like a camera radar thing on the back with a screen in there. Yeah, I've definitely like watched a documentary on this of some kind out there. It's just amazing. The list goes on and on. Anyway, that's my time. I got to leave in 3 minutes, but shout out to Volvo for making such an amazing museum with incredible displays and such cool cars. I definitely will come back here. Now, let's just hope there's a gift shop. Thanks for watching. See you in another one again soon. Bye-bye. And now it is time to leave World of Volvo shop. That's where we got to go. Thanks for watching again. So freaking beautiful here, isn't it? This building is insane. Oh, and they have like a bunch of scale models. No way. Super cool.